I said, should we do the thing like where we're live right now?
The talking thing?
Yeah, where we talk over stuff and things.
Okay, we can, You mean like beverages?
Could talk about beverages.
We could talk about beverages. We've done that for a little while.
Beverages.
We should talk about.
We should. It is. Is today Thursday?
It is Thursday.
Okay, I'm thrown off by sometimes not podcasting. Sometimes we're on a different day.
Sometimes a different day.
I don't even know where it is going these days.
It's a different year. It's a whole different year.
It is. Is this the first podcast of the new year that we've done?
Yeah, we haven't podcasted since last year.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Keith, my sides, please don't.
Secret Bourbon, what a tease!
Please don't. I know, Secret Bourbon, what a tease. HJ, it is good to see you. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you to everybody coming in. So far, it is, again, it is Thursday. It's some beverage podcasting time. If you are unfamiliar with us, we are the Wonder Twin Powers that form up About Beverages. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith.
And we're going to talk about some beverage things and stuff. We're going to chill the music here, though, because we don't need the music. And even Bree is here today. I knew it.
And mobile.
Oh, and she's on. Okay. Don't give away the secret thing, the reason you're here, because then we don't. I told people the secret thing that I'm going to have you try today, but I said, don't tell it. I said, don't tell Keith.
Okay.
I said, because there's going to be a secret whiskey, and I said, it'll just be interesting. I said that we'll try it.
They all know the secret whiskey.
Some people do know what the secret is. Bree is one of them. There were some other people in chat yesterday toward the end, and they were like, what is it? I was like, I'll tell you, but don't tell him. Don't tell him anything. Don't ruin the surprise.
That's right.
But yeah, it is
keep your
wonderful.
Poker face.
Keep your poker face on in the chat.
Face, yeah, that's right.
Keep your poker face.
That's where my poker face is best.
I'm just here. Ooh. Okay, perfect. All right, let's open a beverage, and then should we just get right into the thank you podcast? Does that sound like a plan?
Sure.
After we talk about this one for a second,
yeah.
Which button is it?
I think I've had this before.
I'm trying to remember which one I
did had this before.
Have we had this before?
Yeah, I think they've made that.
All right, I think,
but I'm not sure.
I'll pour it into these very tall glasses.
The very tall glasses that, courtesy of my son.
Your son.
We're going to use these for the first time. I don't think he ever watches when we stream, but maybe
he's actually one of our most violent posters. He's always like, what is this? You guys are terrible. Why do you do this anymore? Oh my god, it's been over 10 years and you're not better at this. No, that's not true. He is awesome, and like I said, for him to go out and have some etched glassware here.
Yes.
And like I said, a
Teku
little taller
style.
Very Teku-esque.
And when this could be used for wine. These are very, very close to.
I was going to say
they don't flare out as much. So
yeah, like what kind of wine are you thinking? Anything in particular? Obviously,
red, yeah, or anything. When I was watching toward the end of the year, Wine Spectator had they do their top 100 wines, and they had videos, little video, like 2-minute videos for their top 10. And I was watching those, and pretty much every wine they had, red and white, they were using the glasses that are very similar to this. They're not quite as, the stem isn't quite as tall, right, and this doesn't even taper out at all, but this part is very, very similar to that. So
I would agree. So this is Tombstone Brewing. This is their Hoppy Sour.
Hoppy Sour.
Over and out.
Two things we like: Hoppy Sour, and of course a third being Tombstone.
Oh, I thought you were going to say over and out.
As
in we are done.
We're done.
Finished. We're finished.
That was it. Good to see you.
Glad you all came in.
This is new for the new year.
Yeah. People have said we get way too wordy in our
5 minutes
podcasts.
of streaming.
So now our full-length podcasts are but of like 6 minutes, and then the podcasts themselves are like, interesting, and then just it ends.
I like how I see you have the green on your chair. New chair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it blends right in.
I know. See? You can't see it.
All right.
People can think we're still standing.
We're just hovering. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting something. Like the other day, pocket cut into a grapefruit, and I smelled that for just a little bit, and it smelled great. And there was something else the other day. I was like, oh,
did you weep?
Actually, it was in today. I was like, oh, I smell that. But it doesn't usually last for long, and once again, it's still kind of the high and the low. They're getting closer. So keep working.
You said you've gotten more back palate-wise.
Yeah, more taste-wise.
Isn't that kind of what you were talking about?
Yeah.
More taste-wise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, food and beverage are enjoyable. So
this smells very nice. I like the combination of. I am definitely getting some sour. Actually, speaking of that, almost like some lemon or some grapefruit kind of coming through there, and then then there's just that lighter effervescence. I don't know if they use Citra or something. Like it's almost kind of got that kind of aroma to it as well. But that smells very nice. Bevy floats. Evil. Now I just think of SpongeBob. little more bland on the palate than I was hoping for.
See, since I didn't really get anything in the nose, I was like, oh, that tastes good.
All
your perspective.
That's kind of funny.
All perspective.
Yeah, no, I got a good amount in the nose, and then the flavor it tastes like somebody watered down something that was better. Like it tastes like a little bit more like watered down. There's a little bit of what I got in the aroma, in the taste. There's some of that grapefruit. There's a little bit of just, nice little tang in there. But I mean, this would be like a good, refreshing, like slightly higher class, like pool beer kind of thing, where it's like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, I get the grapefruit.
Almost
and I get the lemon.
Like I know they didn't use any salt in here, but it's making my mouth water a little bit.
It does do that.
But yeah, no, it's good. It's just lighter than I thought it was going to be. There's high standards when you think about some of the New Belgiums that we used to have, the Hoppy Sour that they used to, where we would track those down and
right. Right. Oh yeah.
What were those called? Was the particular
La Folie?
The La Folie, yeah,
was delicious, and then they had a Hoppy Sour. They had a sour IPA or whatever they called it. But I get some lemon, some grapefruit.
It's good.
And there's a little bitter on there, so
there's a nice tart and a little tanginess in there. Tang. Yeah, the tang is good. I just thought it was going to be a little bit more juicy coming forward, but it's still good. I don't know, what did this one cost? Do you remember? Was this one of the more like under $4 kind of Tombstones?
Yeah, I think it was like right in that area,
on the D low.
Yes.
Down low. I wasn't sure actually. It's so funny because I'm like I used to have, as you can see, is not up there anymore. Like I always used to have stuff covering those light switches that were behind you with like green screen and stuff, and then I realized long ago when we sit down, you don't see them anyway.
Oh yeah. And
you can barely even see it that way because of the camera angle.
Yeah.
And that was what I thought with the chair, which I sit in during the week, and I put the little fabric behind me so you couldn't see it. And then all of a sudden today, I was like, oh, are you going to see the armrest that I have right here? Which you do when I stand up. You see this armrest kind of pop. But then I realized when I sat, I was like, oh, yeah, you never could see it before either because I'm sitting down.
Right.
Baker, it's good to see you too. How are you?
Oh, is that a different glass?
Yes. So I'm going to have to maybe tweak them a little bit because they look a little small. But I realized the other day when I was talking with Jav, who we raid often.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the stream.
Jeff.
No, Jav.
Oh,
you know Jeff too, though, don't you?
Yeah, I know Jeff.
Okay.
Like,
but yeah, anyway, I was talking with Jav, and we were talking about some affiliate streamer stuff, and we were talking about sub badge things, and then all of a sudden I was like, where is that? Because like they've kind of moved things around on the back end. And he was like, oh, it's over here. And I realized that they have given, yeah, this is Lucky's new favorite thing.
Unlurk?
I added a command for unlurk, and look what it says.
Wow.
Yeah,
the legend.
Yesterday, Lucky hit the lurk because he was hanging out and chatting and had some other things to do. And then at some point, I think he did or someone else did an unlurk. I was like, I don't have an unlurk command. And then something else. And then he put in, he's like, this is what it should be. And he created like the little, and then I added the text because now whoever puts it in there, it puts their name. So there's like little commands.
Oh, okay.
For that. So that's like my little
the anti-lurk
little code thing there. And I was like, there you go. And he's like, oh my God, that's great. So yeah, there we go. The unlurk.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for unlurking.
Yeah.
For however long that might happen.
Get a little selfie here with Keith. Oh man, do you think those would be worth? Could I turn Keith into some NFTs or something somehow? Could I make some money off of that? Let me know, Chad. If that's an option, we could do it. Like if I get like if the NFT kind of focuses in on like maybe a bicep area or like some sort of partial flex, because that's rare. That's the rare stuff right there. That's the things you can't find.
Oh yeah, it's this arm. Like Molly Shannon in the Seinfeld episode where she swings her arm.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's the Raquel Welch. Oh, Raquel Welch.
Yeah,
cat fight.
Cat fight. But yeah, so I went through, and as luck would have it, we had like about 18 sub badges that I had never created. Because I only had them initially going up to like the 1 year. Because remember, it was like the Rocks glass was the last thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, they added, so there's a base badge, then there's 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, and then after that it's 18. Or then it's whatever, like year and a half, 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, 3.5, 3 years. So I was like, oh, what can I do? I was like, oh, I know what I could do. I could use all the glassware that Alex made for us.
Oh yeah.
and so now it's like those are all now filling in. So I think the very top one currently, no, actually this might be, that's one of the, okay. So there's, so the tier 2 thing is, that's why there's a little star. So that's just automatically on this. So that's the tier 2.
Okay.
You can see here. So here's a 4-month is that little badge, which that's just our chat. That 35 months right there for Bree. Like I said, so that's a 2.5-year badge.
Okay.
She's almost at the next level.
Almost.
We'll hit the next one. But yeah, I don't know what to do because that goalpost is going to keep getting moved out. Because I was like, oh, for the 5-year one, that's going to happen in a little bit. I'm like, that's where I'll use the rocks glass, the whiskey glass or something. And then all of a sudden I was like, well, shit, eventually that's not going to be the top. So I don't know if I just keep moving that to the highest. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. If you have ideas, let me know. If you have thoughts on what should be the next. Because like right now it worked. I know, so close. So close. Right now I did it that I was able to use kind of because she made for us the light, medium, dark, and then the stout. Right. So I have those 4 like going in a row. So I have all the tulip glasses. One like actually.
Maybe that should be like.
You can see right there because Baker has a tulip glass.
Maybe like each year, because you have how many within a year, or was it just the first year that has several?
I can show you. If you want to see a visual representation,
maybe that first year could
you.
Be like it's all the same glass, but it's just different colored beverage.
Well, I mean that's what I did.
Darker as you go. Oh, okay, all right.
That's kind of what I did. I'll show you. Maybe it'll be here. It is, subscriber badge. So this is all the badges. See how they go up in the color of the thing?
Oh, yeah.
And then I switch to the Tequila glass.
Oh, yeah.
And that goes up. And then at 3 years, this is where, because it's 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. So then the next one.
Yeah.
So somewhere around the 10th of March, we should have a really big party because that's 5 years.
Really? 5 years? I thought we just started this in like 18.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
No, 19, 20, 20.
Well, you can.
We'll be starting our 5th year.
Yeah.
We'll be in our 5th year.
The beginning of our 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have done it for 4 complete years starting our 5th year. So, yeah.
All right. Keep going.
But anyway, I think I have the coffee cup at the bottom because that was kind of nice. It's like where it all started kind of thing. And then
it did. It start with that.
Went through and did all that stuff. And then.
I have one. I also had one.
But yeah, that's kind of a goofy thing to have to.
They had one I bought. It was called spam alert or something from Tombstone, and it had like
what was it called?
When your phone comes up and it's possible spam call, and it had that picture on it. It's like
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
it feels like 5 years of pandemic. So yes,
oh maybe yeah,
yeah.
I could have added extra.
Like it does feel like 5 years. 5 years worth of pandemic.
Yeah,
pandemic. All right, should we watch the video we've been talking about?
Yeah.
You want to set it up a little bit, and I'll.
So this was our as we have done every year. Well, for 4 years now.
It's our 4th annual.
This is our 4th
Keith
annual.
Likes to say.
I forgot what I actually call it in the post, but listener or viewer appreciation. Let me take a look at that. The AtFast or something like that. Annual. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
The AtFast. It's our 4th annual traditional viewer appreciation show. I know. So
whatever makes you happy.
Well, that's what I just stayed with it the last few years. So I started it, and it's still there. So
it is also an annual tradition.
Of the AtFast.
Yeah.
Or AtFast. Maybe it's AtFast. AtFast.
That sounds a little more Russian.
It's the AtFast.
Look at the AtFast. That's right up the AtFast.
Yeah, this drink.
What will be our AtFast this year?
That's right, AtFast. I could say it that way too.
Yeah.
AtFast. So
that's like the welcome. What was it? The German thing Mike Myers used to do on SNL. It's
the Dita.
Yeah, this is Dita. It's time for the AtFast.
It's time for the AtFast.
On AtFast when we dance. Exactly.
This is what we do. We do the AtFast.
It's time to do our kegels. Wait, that's not.
Oh, wait.
Okay. That's go on.
Below the table.
Yeah.
The below the table kegel. We.
Under the table and kegling.
That's a Dave Matthews album, right? Under the table and kegling. The special kind of instrument he's playing down there.
Oh, my God.
Whoa. Hello. But because of wonderful viewers, subscribers, followers, such as all of you who happen to be with us now, and even those who aren't here with us,
Would you say they're here in spirit?
They're here in spirits. Yes, they are.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That's good. And we get to we go out, we buy a little something we normally wouldn't buy, something beyond our price range, but because of that.
Nick, thank you very much. That accent is very good, yeah. Yeah, sir, good. Time to ban the broadcaster.
All
right, everybody out.
And Bree has the power.
She does. She can, actually, I think we're the only ones she can't ban.
Okay, thank goodness.
She'll probably try, though.
All right, we'll keep it. I'm sorry. Under the table and kegling just sounded so funny.
I know, that's really good. Great. I'm really happy with that.
Or are you banning us because we're talking about Dave Matthews?
Both of those options.
But we go out and we buy something that we normally wouldn't buy. It's something outside of our normal price range. You contribute a little bit. I contribute a little bit. The show contributes a decent amount. And then we buy something a little special. The first 3 years, it has been a Scotch, which we didn't even really realize. Usually, we're looking for a whiskey or something in that realm, but. This year we decided to we opened our minds up to some other things, and one of those things was tequila. And so that's what we have actually done is we have a tequila that was our purchase for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Tears of Llorona is the name of it.
It's right there.
And there it is.
A 1 liter bottle, no less.
There's a cool story behind it. But
there is. We'll talk about that.
We're going to talk about that.
We probably should actually stop talking.
Let's stop talking and let's
Should we
go
just
to
watch
the
video?
podcast.
Let's go to the tape.
Do it.
All right, let's go to the tape.
So
I think I have this set up
hopefully
properly.
You'll stay with us as we force you to watch a podcast.
Yeah.
And we watch a podcast
Actually
along with you.
We
watch ourselves.
You think that's proper, like big enough? I was kind of wondering. Okay, I think that's good.
I just cover us all.
Yeah.
No, because
I had thought about that too. I'll tell you, help out with the under the table and kegling. I think I had to turn this up last time too.
Let us know how the volume is.
Oh, I thought it was about to go to an app.
It took us a little bit. I'm wearing the same shirt to find our
That's funny.
special beverage. I do like this shirt. We're sharing this year. It took us a while.
It did. We had to search a little bit more. We had
Maybe smaller?
Unfortunately, we were not able to link up with our usual good friend at Total Wine, Scott.
That's right.
We didn't get to see him this year. Hopefully, he's doing well. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's fine.
There we go.
But
I was wondering. I thought I might be wearing the same shirt.
Own, and we were already thinking.
Sounds good.
Okay, I turned it up a little bit just in case. Different part of the world, perhaps, for our thank you spirit.
Yep.
This is now.
This
is all the branding stuff you get on YouTube. It's very high class.
HJ says we're it up. Annual. Since we came, we had a little hiatus there. Since we've come back and we've been doing this live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages. This is this is commemorating the 4th year of that.
Yeah, we like I said again want to thank everybody that follows us, that supports our content.
Max the volume.
And ever since we went on Twitch, and like I said, obviously some since we are affiliates there, some subs started coming our way. We've used the money that we get for putting it back into equipment here in the studio, improving everything that we can. But at the end of the year, there's usually a little something left over, and we throw in a little bit of our own money too, and we kind of want to do like a big push of something we normally wouldn't buy.
The same beard too.
When was this recorded? Some more expensive things here, but this is usually kind of over and above. So
Bring
thanks
back
to all
facial
of you.
hair, Andrew. It's time.
So we got something from
they liked that the other day.
We got a tequila.
Someone
put up the photo the other day when we were doing the King's Coast.
And I'm Keith, and we are About Beverages.
Actually, we'll pause here for a quick second. It was funny. Someone actually on Twitter posted, they're like, oh my gosh. And there was someone that follows us anyway, but they were said they were writing a report or they were doing something for college and they were writing it. I don't know how King's Coast is tying into it, but they did a search for King's Coast and they're like, look at one of the first pictures that came up was our picture from when you were doing the podcast and doing the pour over.
Okay.
So yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I said, I forgot I'd had facial hair for like 6 months or whatever. So then, yeah, I think that's where that started. Yeah. And the gun show. That's true. Gotta bring back the gun show. If you're doing one, you got to bring back the other.
Well, as soon as we get our tattoos.
Is that what it'll take?
Maybe we can bring back the gun show.
Okay, because you'll have to show off the tattoo.
We'll show the tattoo.
Oh, this is interesting.
But then you'll be showing it as well.
It's true. I don't mind a little flex. I don't really do any working out, but I don't mind flexing a little bit. Drinking gun show
beverage that we are about today for this special. Yeah,
it's almost like I just showed
4th
this.
Annual podcast is the Tears of Llorona Extra Añejo Tequila.
Yeah, that is has quite a lot to say, especially when we're, kind of dealing with, foreign language.
Right.
Even though both of us are native actual Spanish speakers. That's not true at all.
No, not at all.
That's not true at all. But anyway, this is one that really caught our eye in the case at Total Wine. We'd looked at it for a little while. I think you actually noticed it at first, and mostly because it uses 3 different types of barrels to age. This does actually kind of tie into the Scotch. Extra añejo, so it's aged for 5 years, this one in particular. But then they use sherry, brandy, and Scotch casks to age this in, which sounded really interesting. Yep. The blending of this, like I said, by their master tequilero, which I think is an amazing word that I'm going to start using.
You just said very well.
I think I did okay there. That was not too bad. It's Herman Gonzalez, exactly, right?
That's right.
He has been working for a while, and supposedly there is a wonderful. I might be a native speaker after those last 2 little sentences right there. I'm sorry. With this, and we're going to read it. It's very short, but we're going to read it to you about where this name comes from. This is great. Listen to this story. So the story goes that this name for this tequila, it stems from a folk tale that Gonzalez heard as he was a child. It involves a beautiful Mexican native who falls in love with a conquistador. When he leaves her for a younger woman, she drowns their children and herself. Upbeat already, right?
Right.
Doomed to walk the earth, she is said to be heard crying for her lost children. Hence, she is called La Llorona, the weeping woman.
The weeping woman.
But Gonzalez's reason for using the name is nothing so horrible as that. He says that when he tasted his creation, he wept tears. He's like, my wife too drowned her children. No, I don't know. Sorry.
In my tequila.
In my tequila.
In my tequila.
The casks are actually made out of human flesh. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Of joy.
The bones
so I don't know if
we'll
bones feel of tears when we do that. I mean, I almost want to cry just thinking about that story, to be honest. But
we've also seen that defined as the one who cries, and so I guess in this case, Mr. Gonzalez was the one who cried.
He did
when
exactly.
he tasted this. When he combined these. When he put his tequila in 3 different casks, and there's a lot of information on this one actually, which is we had another one we were going to choose, and it was very hard to find information on. So I'm actually really glad that for a lot of different reasons that we're going with this, and the links that we'll have for you. There's a good little video, and he talks about how about his thought process and why he has the 3 different casks. And there's just a little more history, a little more detail involved in that, but. As we are about to taste this, we're just opening this for the first time, as you may have just seen as I was talking. But we really want to thank everybody for all of the support that you've given us, not just for this year, but in particular the last 4 years here on Twitch. I know that you've just got a whole wonderful community of people that you game with and that you play with, and they're here, and you're talking about beverages at those times as well, and about a lot of other things too. But and any of you who have been with us on YouTube or listening to us going way back to 2008 when this whole thing started. This is but this is what we had hoped, at least on a small scale, what we hoped that this could be, sharing in both ways, sharing. You guys sharing with us sharing with you. So thank you very much again. We just want to extend our appreciation because of that, we get to go outside our usual fiscal zone. No, I would totally agree. And and speaking of like community and everything else, this was one we had kind of looked at, we're interested in. It was on our radar, and we had done some research, but also some creators on TikTok, or honestly, who also were mentioning this one specifically as not only a good presentation for the tequila, but also a masterfully blended tequila. And I was like, okay, we always talk about, if I'm going to finally have something that is supposed to let me have the thing that you claim is one of the top things. Yep. And so, like I said, that's why I'm very excited to try this. And this is a 1 liter bottle too.
This is a 1 liter bottle.
None of that 750 milliliter
We haven't
stuff.
talked about the price. Did we save the price to the very? Obviously, people know it's expensive. Did we talk about the price? Yeah, this one was great. It had a lot of articles written about it, in Wine Spectator, in a lot of publications. So that was also a nice. Tequila is not as vast as a lot of other when it comes to other spirits. No, not vast. But I do appreciate a good tequila. I don't know if I probably can count on one hand how many extra añejos I've had. So it's kind of neat seeing a tequila that is this dark, because this is definitely getting into cool. This is definitely getting into bourbon Scotch territory, that kind of thing, which is something I'm always excited to try. And
colored, it was funny though, when we were looking at other things. It was funny, and we even did this last year.
Yeah,
we're looking at $350, $400 bottles. Not that we were going to be getting them, but it just, when something is so light. Yeah, and that has nothing to do with taste or quality.
Probably amazing. It's probably amazing.
But it's just funny. I rather I'm going to spend a lot of. I want to see that.
I want to see that there was some work put into this, and work to me means a darker color for some reason.
I don't know why.
I don't either. Yeah, no, there was some other ones because we've had Duncan Taylor. If you want to go back and watch those other podcasts and the stuff we've had, obviously go in the archives at About Beverages. But yeah, we looked at some other Duncan Taylor things, and they were just literally like yellow straw Chardonnay, like even light Chardonnay, and it was just like. That doesn't seem like that was really aged 18. That was not in any. It just happened to be at the back of the warehouse for 18 years. It wasn't actually in a barrel. But all right, I can't wait any longer. Should we get to the nose?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm still a little bit of a disadvantage. Actually, not a little bit, more than a little.
This is a tale you keep hearing for a while now.
Like
Like I said, if people have just seen this video for the first time.
But one of the effects of my contracting COVID around Thanksgiving is that I pretty much entirely lost my sense of smell. Sense of taste was diminished. They were both coming back more,
which is good. We are thankful for that as well.
Yes, taste more so than smell. But I really, at the most right now, I'm getting like either really high notes or low notes on things.
So this is recorded
I
December 23rd,
the tequila and the
22nd, December 22nd.
That's about it.
Yeah, I am very thankful. Like I said, I was worried when you get into the extra añejo and all these different barrel things, and not that I don't think that this person knows what they're doing, but to me, I was like, oh, is too much of the tequila, which makes it a tequila, going to be lost? And I'm happy to report that it's not. Like I said, you definitely still get that wonderful, like I said, that vegetal aroma, like I said, that plant, the tequila plant, the agave plant, you get that aroma, but it cuts off just a little bit early, which is nice. And I think that's then where it kind of dips into, I get a little bit of the sherry in there. I get that kind of that fruit. And then I don't really get, like I said, I don't know where the scotch would be playing in there. I think I'm getting more of like the brandy cask. So there's nice,
sweet from that.
There's a very nice sweetness at the end in the aroma, like that I'm getting too, like I said, with, again, that can also, that and the bourbon cask can also, the scotch cask can almost tie together a little bit. And if you do watch the videos on their website, he specifically said he uses the scotch cask to like dry it a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
So who knows, maybe that'll be more in the taste then. So, but no, this smells, this definitely is the most diverse set of aromas that I've ever had in tequila before. So I'm very excited for the taste.
Okay.
Are you as well?
I am. Well, I'm hoping I can actually taste a little bit more than I can smell.
Well, let's go for it then.
Cheers. To 4 years.
To 4 years of doing this. We've done this other stuff for way over a decade.
Of this part. Right.
Go check all that stuff out.
I have a feeling it is I who will be the one who cries. Because I'm really not getting much of anything. A little, just right there. I got a little something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But I can definitely feel some heat.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
And there's something
surprisingly for 86 proof, there is this nice warmth going down.
There's something at the back of my tongue that kind of just goes out. I don't really know what that flavor is, but it's definitely a sensation of.
You're feeling a burning sensation?
Of that spreading out as a burning desire. Tell me what I'm missing.
What you're missing is something quite amazing. I always worry when something either gets talked up a little bit or I make a decision like, that we did on this one. And it's like, oh, it could be my head that I want it to live up. This honestly lives up to everything that I had hoped for this bottle. You still get the tequila to me, it comes and hits me in just these beautiful little waves that just all blend together. You get a little tequila at first for me. Like I said, you get that agave plant. And then that rolls into, for me, I'm actually getting some of the scotch now. You're getting a little bit of that light peaty, like sea spray. And then that rolls into the sherry and the brandy casks are kind of coming together with that little bit of fruit. And then the tequila, to me, wraps it, like I said, that flavor wraps around again at the end on the finish. And it's really nice. There's a little light cinnamon spice in there, like I said, but the fruit.
That's what I'm getting.
Sweet, you're getting a little cinnamon.
I can get the cinnamon.
There's definitely some cinnamon in the spice and the spice, like I said, of the agave plant.
I get that. I got the cinnamon.
That just comes together.
I've never seen a grown man so excited to get cinnamon spice.
A little bit of warmth.
Yeah,
but on the actual palate itself is just absolutely amazing. It's so wonderfully smooth. It's got a great viscosity to it, and the body is nice.
Feels good.
There's a little bit of weight to it. This is the best, obviously, I've ever had. And I'm realizing right now, next year, because I hadn't been doing the archive stuff till earlier this year, where we had the full podcast.
Right.
I'm realizing this next year we could actually watch this podcast again if we wanted to.
Whoa!
If we wanted to go 3 layers deep,
that's recursion. I think
we could be some sort of Inception, for God's sakes. There, cannot wait to make a margarita with it.
I think
I didn't make a chance. Yeah, exactly.
As you were talking about that made me think of our previous beverages.
That made me want a margarita with it.
3 scotches actually. Right?
I think we have.
But
all the coincidence. We tried to buy bourbon.
Right, we did.
Because we love bourbon here.
Yeah,
we tried to buy bourbon.
But they all had some, and I think one of them was a little more than the others, but they all had those nice layers of flavor that then came back around again, and they had the long finishes. And I think maybe that is what you're going to get in maybe upper. We'd have to find that out if we ever do this like with wine or something like that. You're probably getting those, just not that quick finish. You're getting that repeating flavor that just kind of goes on, that lingering finish. So, because when you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, I've heard us talk like this before. No, we've said this.
Yeah, the flavors.
That's what you're paying for.
Almost. Like I said again, having another. The more expensive you get, are how many extra layers of flavor and how lingering is the finish. I don't need to keep repeating myself. Those things just keep wrapping around, and as you're sitting there, as you're savoring it, you're like, oh, I'm getting a little more tequila. Okay, now I'm getting some of those other notes. Getting a little bit of the cinnamon. I'm getting some of that peat. I'm getting the sweet. I'm getting the fruit from the sherry barrel. I'm getting the little brandy notes in there. It's just. There's nothing else to say, but it's just masterfully blended together. Like I said, you're not getting more of one thing than the other, or it doesn't. Sometimes we have different beverages where it feels like, okay, now I'm getting this flavor. Now I'm getting this flavor.
Right.
Now everything's very segmented. Everything just rolls together just very harmoniously.
Oh, that's good. I like, I know what I'm missing out on now. I think, like you said, it's cool that it's not like it's a tequila where they hid the tequila part and just put all this other stuff.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear.
Tequila's still there, but they just added these other layers, and I think that's very, obviously it shows off the skill of the man who put it together.
Yes. So thank you to everybody that, again, helped put this podcast together, not just us, but everybody that has either followed, watched, retweeted something we've done, has watched videos.
I shouldn't drink my beer
YouTube,
so fast. I'm thirsty.
Which is obviously a great place to subscribe. Or if you watch us on Twitch and you've chosen to sub to us and help us out, like I said, financially in that way, all of those things are very much appreciated and go a long way to keeping the lights on here at About Beverages and keeping us doing what we're doing and being able to do
I have some more
very special like this.
Yeah.
So I have some other like middle range
everybody out there
tequilas that I want us to try this
on all those
going into this
media
platform things. If you like just the audio versions of these kind of shows,
in that like 40
usually we're a little bit
50-ish range,
like definitely a little pricier, but
when
we do
that I've heard good things about.
A little bit more, going a little bit more in depth. But if you want a little short form podcasts and things, obviously Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, all of those things are available to you. You can follow us
that's
there.
a new one.
If you have a favorite podcasting app,
I've used that one for a little while
now.
now.
I created that little combo.
You'll
probably find us there. And of course, there's some pillars that we could also talk about.
The 3 pillars, we always talk about.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention these.
We have to mention Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which is the one that we use most frequently to keep in touch with you
on that. It's gorgeous.
and let you know what's going to be going on. And follow us on Twitter. Let Andrew keep you up to date on what he's doing throughout the week, and we'll let you know when we're going to be going live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages most Thursday evenings.
That's very true. And again, thank you to everybody, and also thank you very much to this guy right here. I appreciate that we get to do this for so long. Like I said, some people know, like I said, we worked together for many years, and this was our excuse to continue to get together after our paths kind of separated a little bit and make an excuse. This is how we get to stay together, and I'm very appreciative of the time that we get to spend recording these shows. So thank you very much for.
You are welcome, and people probably know this, but this site would not still be viable and have a beating heart if it wasn't for you. It would have, it would not be. It would not be around if it wasn't for you and your drive over the years and keeping it going and keeping me on my toes and holding me accountable where I needed to be. Being better and getting back there. But so thank you for all that you've done to keep this going. So It's a lot of fun.
Well, cheers to everybody. And we normally say whether we like it or not, but here it comes. Keith, if he could taste, would know that he loves this one. That's fantastic. So if you, we never said the price, did we?
Here we go.
We never did say the price. I just said the price. So I was about to say, so if you want to spend $230 on a tequila,
and a 1 liter of tequila.
A 1 liter. Okay, maybe that might change your mind. It is 1 liter. It's not 750 mil. If you want to do that, which, like I said, we were lucky enough to do this, you should give it a shot.
That's right. Thank you for giving us a shot every week and every day that you show up.
Cheers. Cheers. And there you have all of that. And if we talked over it too much and all that kind of stuff, guess what? You can go watch it on YouTube right now. It should be up and live.
That's right.
Voices are perfect for podcasts. That's super kind of you.
Well,
Thank you,
thank
Nick.
you.
I appreciate you saying that. That is super kind.
What is
Probably the price.
Oh, the price. I was going to say,
Yes.
Why is Bree so incensed right now?
Yeah. If there's any left, whenever you make it up Phoenix Way, I'll make sure that you at least get a sip, so you can know.
True.
So you can know whenever you make it this way, when all the COVID goes away or whatever happens, I'll make sure that you, like I said, that you get a sip of one of these.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is. So
it is pricey.
So you had a lot of things going on with that one. Would I do that? So a shot is like $20. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what would work. So a liter is 1,000 milliliters. Depends on how many milliliters are in a shot. That's like, so it's an ounce.
Well, 750 milliliters is 25.4 ounces.
Okay, so 25 shots, because a shot is an ounce, usually ounce or an ounce and a half.
Yeah, so then you have to add another
25. So
there's probably 30
shots in there.
30 shots.
So
30 into 30. It's more like $8.
Yeah.
$8 to $10 a shot. But yes.
Okay, sounds good. There you go. Yeah, like I said, so I don't think we talk. We usually always have the conversation at some point, and I think we had it maybe after we finished recording the podcast. We always do the like, would you buy this, or like, would you spend the extra money for this? Like, I don't know. I would need to try some other higher end tequilas to see like how close you can get in that range. Like, maybe for $100 or something like that, I could have some sort of premium extra añejo and go like, oh, this is very good. It's not Tears of Llorona good, but man, it's very good, and I've saved $130.
Right.
But I don't know that. So that's one thing I think this year, again, like I was just offhand mentioning, like I said, that is, that there are some other tequilas that I have read about, been interested in, that are, from Blanco up to extra añejo, that are more in that mid-price range that we usually pay for stuff like $50, $60, something like that. So I want to try some more of those to see like what we can get in there. Pocket, how's it going?
Made it. All right.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Well, that's right.
There we have it. My Pacific Northwest education. I'm assuming that's, if PNW doesn't mean that, then that's my education showing right there. But yeah. So yes, I would probably not run out and pay that for it again if it was my own direct money.
Right.
But it was very delicious. And so, oh, good. All right. Well, I did find that. So this is one of those things that it was scarcity. If you can find it, you should buy it, because it's very rare. Not as much gets out. Like I said, it's been something that he has been creating for quite a while, but I think it's only since 2014 or 15 that it's actually made it to the U.S. This blend from that master tequilero. I got to do it at least one more time. You might as well
say it if you.
I got to get my money's worth out of saying that. Yeah, now I've just got it. So it's only been here for a little while. There's very small amount of cases made, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Adds up the price, and from what it was funny, I think one of the articles we read, they were quoting a higher price, and we're like, wow, we're practically getting a deal. I think they were saying like $250 to $300. And again, being a little bit silly, tongue in cheek there, but yeah, it was like, so anyway. But it was very, it was delicious, and I've had a little bit more since then. That was the funny story then. So at some point, this bottle then also winds up, it goes over to our middle brother, his house. That's kind of like a little bit of our, kind of Christmas gift to him. Yep. He doesn't really share it with anybody else, maybe a few, people here and there, like I said, that, get to have some, so that it, kind of stays toward the back of his cabinet, and we still get to try it when we go over there. But we were telling the story, I should say, I was telling the story to Frank, who is his brother-in-law. I don't know, how does that work?
Close enough.
Friend of ours named Frank. Let's go with that. Yeah, that'll be the easier way to say it. Anyway, we were
commissioner of your fantasy league.
As soon as I mentioned Tears of, he's like, oh, Tears of Llorona. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I know that's. He knew the story. He knew the folk. He didn't know the tequila, but he knew the folk tale. He knew the story. Yep. And I guess they actually use it to frighten other UPS drivers that go down into Mexico. Like, so it was kind of it was like a whole thing. And so that was kind of cool that actually had tied back into people knowing the story, because I obviously had never heard of it, and my wife hadn't, and you obviously hadn't either, right?
No. Okay. No.
Had Jeff heard of it, since we were talking about him earlier?
Not that I don't know if he's heard of it yet.
Okay,
he may have.
We'll have to find out. We'll talk to Scott later and see if he's had it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, thank you guys once again for allowing us to try something this extra delicious,
delicious, extra añejo, extra thanks.
So let us remove that from there, and actually, I forget, I got to turn. Oops, not the right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, move the volume back down there for when we play some music here in a minute, because we're going to take a break. We're going to go grab the first featured beverage. The thing we're going to podcast on this evening is from Russian River Brewing.
Yep.
So we're going to go grab that. We'll record a podcast. Or, we'll stick with that. We'll do that one, and then we've got the secret whiskey coming up after that. It'll be that podcast is going to be very different.
The secret whiskey podcast.
Yeah, I've already have it in my head, like how we're going to actually do it. It's going to be a lot different because we're going to almost, which people on YouTube might like with the way sometimes they comment. Although we've had some great comments lately, so thank you if you guys are watching this on YouTube and have subscribed to us lately. We greatly appreciate that. If you are new and just watching this archive, think about hitting the subscribe button. Costs you absolutely nothing. We're trying to get to 1,000. That would be super cool by the end of the year. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Yeah, exactly. But it's maybe what they want anyway. We're literally almost going to flip everything because nothing is going to be said, and we're going to go right to the tasting, which it seems like people are like, get to the tasting. So we're literally going to get to that, and then all will be revealed after that. So it's like
all will be revealed.
Yeah. I will have on the archived version and the podcast that'll probably wind up going up for this one. As we're talking about it and tasting, it'll be like the password is the secret stuff will be on the bottom, so people know what it is as it's going on.
All right.
But yeah, like I said, at least
you've been thinking about this one.
I have. And it's like, well, you gave me an extra week to think about it,
true.
so I really can't.
It's true.
I had another. It's funny too. If this had happened a week ago, I had another idea how I was going to do it, where I was literally going to be sitting here alone, introduce everything by myself, and then cut to just us tasting. But I think this is going to be a lot more fun because you're going to be here for the whole bit. So,
all right.
See, so you actually made me do even better.
More ideas, more thought, and yes. More creativity.
More of anything?
More of everything.
All right. All right. Let's continue on with some more music. We're going to grab a beverage, and it'll take us just 1 second, and then we will be right back.
So it's something sort of...
It's funny how it works. Sometimes even the breweries can't even spell the same thing correctly.
I know. What's up with that?
What is up with that?
What is going on?
Drinking and driving. What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Yeah, so we've got a beer, like we just said, from Russian River Brewing, and as we've looked, the name of the beer is spelled two different ways on their website. It is apparently the correct spelling, though, is propitiation. Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's what's on the label.
Women.
Propitiation.
What's up with that? Exactly. Propitiation, which means the action of propitiating or appeasing a god, spirit, or person. He lifted his hands in propitiation.
The action of... Okay. Oh, wow.
They did the Simba, like Lion King move.
Oh, I thought you were going with... since
Pennsylvania.
Midnight Mass, I thought you were...
Oh, Midnight Mass.
You're going with the body and blood of Christ.
Yeah. Literally blood.
Yeah.
Spoilers. So anyway, it is spelled correctly on the label.
Okay, right. That's what... Okay.
I apologize if the link that I created might be spelled incorrectly, because I think I saw it spelled at the top of the screen one way, and then in the body of the text it's spelled another way, and I did not currently have the beer at the time when I wrote the thing, so apologies if you are looking at the beverage command. That's what we're having this evening. Just had the Hoppy Sour, and we're having... Yeah, look, see, I left out the extra I. I put propitation.
Well, but that's what...
Which is actually the act of owning property, I think is what it is. Offering up property to a god or deity. I think that's actually what that one is. See, you just take out an I, and it's amazing the meaning change.
There's a... Oh, yeah.
It's very...
Remove one letter in some words, and changes the whole meaning. Oh, my God,
yeah.
The whole meaning.
I know, and some words are just really neat. Like wow backwards is wow. Wow upside down is mom, and mom upside down is dad's favorite thing.
R.I.P. Bob Saget.
Rest in peace, Bob Saget.
Aww.
Yeah, it was 65.
Yeah,
that's nuts. I was like, and it's always. I think the sad thing was my first reaction was foul play. It's like no, not foul play. I'm like drugs. We're okay. Seems like we're okay on both of those.
It seems that way. Yeah,
for the moment. Not that it matters. But yeah.
They said there was
very unfortunate.
There wasn't anything.
Seems like he was universally like loved.
Yeah,
like I said, you don't see that a lot sometimes in the comedy world, but it seems like he was a huge supporter of all different types of comedy. And actually, he was pre-med. I don't know if you saw that article the other day. He actually, when he was going to college, he was actually a med student. He was pre-med.
I saw Temple
was doing comedy on the side, like a little bit, and then he won like some like amateur, like at one of the clubs, like a comedy competition. yeah, that's how we lose our doctors these days at the comedy world, unfortunately.
I was reading an article talking about how his, personality or his, like persona that you knew if you watched like Full House.
Oh, yeah.
And America's Home Videos, that kind of stuff. But then he could be really full.
Oh, he's known for telling some of the dirtiest jokes ever.
And yet he could be, and he both, and he wasn't one or the other. It didn't. It was. I thought it was a very interesting article, and it didn't seem. Yeah. Anyways,
because I never really watched any of I was not a Full House person. I didn't watch any of America's Funniest Home Videos. You'd see it every once in a while or whatever. But I knew he was that. And then it was like the joke that I just told was from a comic relief from years and years ago when it was Robin Williams and Whoopi Goldberg and Billy Crystal. I saw him on there and he came out. I was like, oh, what's this guy? And he was hilarious. Oh my God.
I remember you saying
some of the funniest stuff I'd ever seen. And it was just things just off the cuff, it seemed like, but just very just borderline, kind of getting a little working blue, as they say. But yeah, like I said, unfortunately, losing another great comedian.
And then obviously How I Met Your if you're a How I Met Your Mother fan,
that's true.
That's how.
Yeah,
but
anyway, How I Met Your Father is coming out next week, so you can watch that on Hulu.
Oh,
I mean, I don't think. Are they going to ruin it like they did the other one too?
Who knows? Maybe they'll learn.
It'd be funny if they didn't. I wonder how far they'll get with that one, to be honest with you. Is it a completely different group and it's just How I Met Your Father, or are they tying it back into the other show? Like, I honestly have no idea how it's working.
There was a lot of talking about that. That was years ago after the first show, after How I Met Your Mother ended. There was all this talk about they were going to do it this way or that way. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what they landed on, but
okay. Are we ready?
I think we're ready.
All right. I think we are ready.
Are they ready?
I hope so. I mean,
ready.
It's been a little bit since we have done a full podcast. This is the first one of the new year. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out, watching the live show. I'm going to take down a couple
it's not a sour.
Things
it's not
here.
A sour porter. It's a porter. Porter aged in Petite Syrah barrels.
That's correct.
Okay.
Say anything about sour?
Nope.
I'll take that down too, and that. Okay. All right. So since we were going to record this podcast, as you can see, I took down a few of the little graphics.
Made it clean
on the screen. This will wind up being edited out. This full archive will go up on YouTube, but then this little edit will be shrunk down, obviously, and put up there as well. So definitely hit the subscribe on Spotify and all those things if you only want the audio. Again, regulars know the routine, but I got to say it for all the new people.
That's right.
That is
all the new people.
All the new people. Okay. And hello to you, far and wide. Let the Russian River run. We'll all no, it's actually
Carly Simon.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Okay, my mouth is a little bit smaller than Carly's,
a little.
but my voice equally as strong, and my yearning for Russian River Brewing Company beers also as strong as a river.
That's what we. And I know whenever I'm in California, that's what I'm looking for, is to find as many types of Russian River beer as I can, but certain ones in particular, but also open to any kinds. And this is one we've never had before.
I know.
I've never even seen it before.
All right. Well, let's have it for this. Give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith. And we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the Russian River Propitiation Porter aged in Petite Syrah barrels.
Yeah, and we actually did have to look this up. I apologize.
We did.
My initial link, if you're watching the live show on Twitch that we do most Thursday nights, it has a slightly incorrect spelling because on their website they also have an incorrect spelling, but then they also have the correct spelling, and the correct spelling is on the bottle. So what does that word actually mean? I did not know. We had to look it up.
Yeah, and definitely I had to look up the pronunciation of it as well. It means that you are appeasing a god, spirit, or person. The action of appeasing a god, spirit, or person. So
making an offering, perhaps.
We are hoping that this is an offering that I have brought
to the palate
to
gods,
appease us and the beverage community here. This is what I was out in California in July, and got a couple of other things as well. But this one was actually bottled. I think it has a date of 12/30/20 on it. So this is over a year. It's aged for 6 months, I believe, in Petite Syrah barrels. I think that's what it is.
Yes.
And then I'm obviously it had already aged.
Wow, you can see that already as I'm pouring it.
It had aged on the shelf in the refrigerator at Olive Tree Market. Still a place
nice.
that I like to go visit from back several years ago now. I think my first trip there was like 7 or 8 years ago. But found this there, and it had it's been now over a year that it was bottled. So we're not really too worried about a porter being sitting around for a while,
and a barrel
especially-
aged,
yeah,
no
a
less,
barrel
too.
aged. So yeah, but I've never had anything. Well, the consecration, I guess, is
Which I
probably
actually
the
just had one of those
I
the
saw
other day.
you had
For the
tweeted
very
something
first
about
time,
that.
I
Yeah.
actually had one of those.
Oh wow,
I have not actually, like, usually I'm splitting it a couple different ways. I've
was a-
treated myself.
that was a good breakfast.
It
You
was
had
a good
you had it
breakfast.
nice and early.
It was, I had that with some scrambled eggs,
Yeah.
had some other things going on there. Nice breakfast burrito and a consecration. Actually, that's probably not bad. Probably okay.
Burrito and consecration.
Burrito and consecration. Wow.
And that wasn't even the beer.
That wasn't even the beer. But yeah, porter barrel aged. Like I said, we don't even usually have a lot of porters. Honestly, it's not a style I usually go for.
No.
I do like them, but it's not like usually one of the first ones I'm looking. And actually, honestly, not a lot of porters are made. It seems like when I look at
I'd say
when I
that's
look
true.
at the cabinet, like, you know, when you're talking, just because of the wave
Yeah.
of IPAs, it's like IPAs. Then they kind of just, you know, if you're talking about percentages, it jumps to stout then or something like
Yeah.
that, probably into your barrel aged things. But wow, that is quite a foamy, frothy head that's hanging
Yeah.
out on mine there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and as I was pouring it, you could immediately tell the influence of the Syrah barrel. There was definitely some red dancing in amongst the usual kind of darker porter browns, I would say.
Ooh, red dancing in among the darker porter browns. I like it.
All right. To the aroma,
That's well. I'm searching.
I'm going to give it the old college try.
Absolutely.
All right. Berserker, it is wonderful to see you. Sorry, we had to get to our little stopping point.
That
What?
was a mouthful.
A
Yes.
mouthful. It is a mouthful. Ahoy,
Yes.
boys. It is so good to see you, Berserker. And you have not missed out on the thing I talked about the other day. Don't say it.
Don't let
He
me know
doesn't
what
know.
it is. I don't
We'll
know.
do it right after this
I
one.
still don't know.
I don't want it to be too late for everybody, but I want everyone to, we got to get to that. But thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. Nick, HJ, Pocket, everybody, Bree, thank you so much. I'm enjoying a pumpkin porter brewed by my favorite local brewers. Thank you. Nice, Baker. Love it. Love it. Speaking of that, are you getting any of the,
You want to talk?
I think we probably
Just
should.
go to record?
Yeah, I think we probably
Okay.
should.
All right.
I'm very excited for Redacted. Okay, good.
Okay.
I love that you did that too.
So, all I get from that is red wine.
Okay, so you're like the B-52s.
Rome?
Red.
Oh, no, that's UB40.
Oh, that's UB40. It's a number in a band.
Dang
It's
it.
whatever.
Neil Diamond wrote that song.
Oh my God, Neil
Okay.
Diamond.
Yeah.
I'm Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond. That's right.
Did he actually write that?
Diamond song originally.
All right, we'll go back to that in a second. We record that.
Okay.
All set. Lucky. Sorry, I have the alerts turned off. Thank you for the 1,500 bits. That is super nice of you. Thank you so much. I
It seems
appreciate
like
it.
a lot of bits.
We were in the middle of recording the podcast, so I had the little alert thing turned off. You do that all the time. I think this is now your new thing. When I walk away, when I take a break
I
from the
remember
stream,
that.
there's all of a sudden a sneaky thing there.
Yeah.
Now you know when I actually have the alerts off.
Yeah.
You look for that, and you do that as well.
And Elton Brown's.
And all
And then-
Browns. I was hoping that you didn't. I actually remembered. Lucky, thank you so much for the 1,500 bits. You're too kind. You're too kind. Alton Brown. He kind of does look like a crazy Alton Brown. Leopard
Yeah.
does look like that a little
Before
bit.
the gray
All right.
came into Alton Brown's face. Okay.
All right.
I did as far as I could, and I get some red wine notes.
So big
And-
B-52s fan.
B-52, Rome?
No, Red
Love
Wine.
Shack?
Red Wine?
No, that's UB40.
Oh, damn. It's a banded number. Whatever. Like, same thing. So you're getting is red wine out of that?
And maybe a little bit of roasty malt. That's about it.
So the red wine is definitely there. It is kind of front, but I'm actually getting a lot of spices in there, like almost like pumpkin spices. There's brown sugar. There's, into your nutmegs, some cinnamon, maybe even some allspice. So there's some of those things going on along with, the darker malts. I'm not getting anything like coffee wise, or like I thought maybe I might get some of that out of it. But like I said, but no,
Right.
I'm getting, just kind of, darker, like sweet, kind of like, so I said brown sugar, but then, like kind of seasonal, like pumpkin, like those kind of spices. And then that red wine, like that fruit coming through. That is very complex. This is really
You'll have
good.
to enjoy it for the both of us.
Damn it. Just have you smell next time. I just take it back from you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we try the taste? See if you get any of the things I talked
I
about.
hope so.
Okay.
Low bar. Because I can't really get anything from the aroma, so I'm not. Yeah. So let's hope.
Let's hope. Oh my God, you're comparing B52s to UB40? Well,
I'm thinking you were just doing numbers and letters in a group.
That I am not a fan of either band.
Okay.
B52s are obviously way better than UB40, but I don't like either one of them because they're just not my style.
I was thinking that was you just got your numbers and letters.
Yeah, no, it's 100% what I was going for. Yeah. No, it was a numbers and letters joke, not a direct comparison of the quality of both bands. One being better than the other one, but neither one of them to my.
UB40 is, do you know where they took their name from?
Red Wine?
No, they did that song.
Because they initially people thought they were in their 30s, and they said, no, UB40.
UB40. Yeah.
No, actually, what was it?
UB40. That is actually the form number for the unemployment form in wherever they're from, London or wherever.
Oh, really?
That's the UB40 employment form.
Oh, well, their music is not going to help them get out of that.
Well, it did, though.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay. Damn it.
ABC.
Lucky is indeed sneaky, but such a good friend to you. It's part of his charm. That's true. That's true. You're buttering him up like that. Have you tried ABC 1, 2, 3 from Michael? Yeah, it's ABC. Now songs with letters and numbers.
We were talking about the group ABC.
Then there's 46 and 2 by Tool.
Be near me.
all these
25 or 6 to 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
God. Songs that just promote the alphabet. They were all like on the Muppet Show originally.
Songs. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Got it? You got it all?
As much as I'm going to get.
Got it.
Actually, I think this is a sour.
I mean, some of that's going to go on kind of naturally within a. Such as
it has a sour sort of.
Well, yeah, they use their big four in here.
Okay. They're
Brettanomyces, Lactobacillus, Pediococcus, and Saccharomyces.
So I definitely get that. It's making my mouth water, and I still get some of the wine, but mostly I'm just tasting it. It tastes like a sour beer to me.
You were correct.
Oh, okay.
I get none of the spice that I talked about.
Okay.
Like the other than the red wine that I got in the aroma, like in the taste, like everything else is like kind of just blends into that. It's like kind of a tangy. It's got a little bit more depth to it because there is like a little bit of a roasty, the porter kind of part is coming through along with the red wine, and then that, kind of tart tang comes through. It's very good. I was just kind of was thinking maybe some of those other spices are going to mingle into it, but at least in the flavor they do not come through. So that's a little disparate, like which I'm not a huge fan of. But
I guess they could have. That could have gone away.
But you think the aroma would go away before the flavor.
No, that's true. The high notes, you would think. Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm still getting it in the aroma. I'm still getting some of those other notes, which are, like I said, really good. And the quality is great. It's just different than what I thought it was going to be. Because in a way, like in the aroma, my brain is kind of almost starting to think a little bit sweet along with that spice. And this is definitely not that when you drink it. There's no real sweet to it at all. It's like, again, it's the roasty. It's the grapes, like is it Petit Syrah, isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
It's it's that coming through, and then it's the tart of those things, and then like I said, obviously the yeast that they use in there, the yeast.
Yeah.
And the bacteria,
if I was drinking this and not looking at it, I wouldn't know. Once again, being slightly compromised, I would not know that this is a porter. Once again, that's me.
No,
Once again, I don't have the full. I'm not at full capacity, full strength. So
I don't know if I would have called porter either. I would have thought it was something darker, like maybe like a red ale or something like that, or a bock maybe, like something like that.
Okay,
possibly just because of the maltiness in there and the
just like a Flemish ale or something.
Yeah,
something like a red, like a Flanders.
But those kind of start getting like, those kind of have more of like this doesn't have the red wine vinegar thing that usually those have, I don't think. Okay. Which also does have a little bit of sweet with that tart. This is really almost kind of flat in those flavors. Okay. And again, it's not. I know that sounds negative, but it's very good. It's just different than things I've had from them. So that's very exciting to me.
Yeah.
I saw the price. It looked like it was $10.
Yeah,
$9.99 on the top of the bottle. So. Yeah. Not bad for one of their barrel-aged beers for sure, because usually those can easily get into the $16 or $17 range for that's a 375 ml, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So definitely not a cheap sour beer, but usually definitely the craft is always there, with
Russian River, of course,
which makes us happy.
Come to Arizona.
Yeah, please. Oh. Which also, like say, people, you don't have to conjure anything up or put up a propitiation of some sort of offer or anything like that. The website that we have, aboutbeverages.com, it's just always there, 24/7, never down, always has all of the things that we have done over the last decade, whether it was podcasts, articles, recipes, videos, all those things are there. If you only want the latest videos, YouTube is a great place for that. You can hit the subscribe button, and you will get an alert when we put some new content up there, which is usually a couple times a week. When we get our shows on the air, so you'll get a couple different things there. If you only want audio, you can always go to Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, whatever your favorite podcast provider is. You can just go and search there for About Beverages.
Just go there,
and you will find us. I am pretty sure, and hit the subscribe button there too, because we appreciate that. As well as some pillars where you can always hear us talking daily.
The 3 pillars being Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which is the one that we use most often to let you know what's going on here at About Beverages. Just like earlier tonight when I tweeted that we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings around 5:30 Pacific. Yeah. 5:30 Pacific. Yeah, 5:30 Pacific. Yeah. I know the whole time zone stuff, somewhere in that.
Yeah.
In that zone. And yeah, we get together, we hang out, we try some beverages and chat with you, our followers, listeners, anybody who happens to drop in. Also, Andrew keeps you up to date on what he is doing throughout the week, what games he is playing or replaying. I know sometimes you are contemplating even doing. You wanted to do one again.
I know, I did. Did a full playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2 again. All the Red Dead Redemption stuff, which was super cool. So yeah.
Andrew will keep you up to date on that and what he will be drinking while he's doing that. So follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.
That is a podcast.
I tried not to go.
You tried not exactly.
I was thinking about that. You should give it a shot. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. See?
You like tweak all of a sudden?
You should give it a shot. See?
Oh God! You should give it a shot. Oh God! No. Like a
underpants.
Like a nice cup of amaretto French roast in the morning. Tweaks coffee.
Underpants.
No, this is very good. It was just like said you get one thing in your head when you're tasting something, and then or when you're smelling something, and then the taste is a little different. Is this when we pivot to a Witch Queen discussion? Can if you want. If you've got something you want to ask about the Witch Queen. New Destiny expansion that happens in February 22nd.
The Witch Queen of New Orleans?
February 22nd. There's a Witch Queen in New Orleans?
There's a Tom Jones song, Witch Queen of New Orleans.
What's it about? Tom Jones's mom.
It's about the Witch Queen of New Orleans.
Oh, okay. And she was?
No, I don't. She was a chef. Yes. She had a very popular restaurant there.
She poisoned everyone. So
Born on the Bayou.
No one could ever write a bad review.
That's right.
Born on the Bayou. That's too fun. Propitiation. That's an interesting
propitiation. Barrel-aged sour porter.
Oh,
okay,
propitiation.
So it does say. Or propitiation. Yeah,
propitiation.
We can't believe in it, but this isn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that their
That actually
site?
is their website because it's an archive beer, one they don't do all the time.
Oh, okay.
Versus Witchy Woman. Witch Queen versus Witchy Woman.
The Witch Queen versus the Witchy Woman.
That would be
definitely Witchy Woman.
That'd be like one of those. What was the stupid thing they had? A claymation thing they had on MTV.
Oh, the cage fight or whatever?
Yeah.
The
death match
the
or
death
whatever.
match. Yeah, the SmackDown.
Yeah, they could just do that.
Wow. I'd forgotten about that.
See the void work they were redoing. We're getting a hamster ball bubble. I saw a little bit about that. Yeah, that's the void reworking stuff is going to be very interesting, Nick. I am looking forward to that. The TWAB today was was interesting. I think everyone's very concerned about what they're doing about the orbs of light stuff moving to a mod. So that'll be hopefully they have more. Like I said, again, I hate that they put out a piece of information like that, knowing that there's more information that would probably stop our frustrations or change our opinions on that, but they can't talk about it. They feel for some reason to later on down the road. So that's kind of frustrating. But yeah, no, it all looks cool. We'll all be playing some Destiny and having a good time for sure, as it always is. Yeah, no, I think this is good. I definitely would, especially at $10 compared to some of their other stuff. I would have one of these around. Just kind of a nice change up, a nice offering.
It was funny talking about Russian River. I forgot one of my coworkers is going to be celebrating her anniversary, and they're going to be at there around the time the Pliny the Young.
You're kidding.
And I think she's going to get some, or at least some other Russian. if it can't, I don't think it's bottled though. I don't think
they are having it in bottles.
Okay, so if
you can get it. You can get it in
able
bottles.
to try some.
If we actually get the podcast on a Pliny the Younger, that would be absolutely amazing.
I'm hoping that. Yes, I'm hoping that happens.
What are you going to do to your tongue to make it work that day?
My tongue is fine. It's better at least, and I'm just going to keep flicking the back of my head, and hopefully my my senses will come back. Now, the thing is, at least part of it is not optimal, but at least there's still enough there for me to.
Yeah,
and,
no, I mean, you hear a lot of people have it even,
bit.
not that it's like, everyone, like, there's always this thing like, well, someone has it worse, well, someone has it better. Like, it's always that kind of thing. But yes, like I said, for what you've gone through and everything else, it's definitely been that you've been able, you hear people talking about for months, not like being able to taste period at all, which I can't even imagine.
Yeah, there have been, like I said, a couple of things in the last couple of days where I'm like, oh, yeah, like I said, grapefruit the other day. And there was something else recently too that, and then I I'm like, oh my God, I smelled that. Yeah, something I wanted to smell.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Actually, I'd be happy even if something I don't want to smell.
I was going to say, at this point, you probably be excited either way.
It's good.
Bounty setup, what should I have already? So they haven't fully said if they're going to, there's always all this talk of like, are they going to nuke bounties as we go into Witch Queen? Are they going to change up, how that works? Are we going to be able to carry things over? But if it works like previous seasons, so based on previous seasons, Nick, the idea would be that you would do the weeklies on all the places, on all the planets you can go to. So there's 4 weeklies on the moon. There are weeklies on Cosmodrome, or on the Cosmodrome. There's weeklies, obviously, where else? Anything where there is a weekly bounty, do those, and then after that you would do all your dailies, and then after that you would after the dailies, then you just kind of fill in with what space you have left. And make sure some of the dailies are like, I usually do 7 bounties a piece from all the tower vendors. I know it's getting a lot of inside baseball. Like I said, you get to, do 7 bounties a piece from all the tower vendors, because then when you go into Witch Queen, you turn in all 7 of those, you do 1 more bounty, and then you'll get that powerful piece of gear, or you'll get that little bump up. And that just is kind of to ensure that for some reason, if bounty's carrying over, if it won't consider it the new season, it'll consider it the new season and not the old season. Again, that's also probably like not super necessary, but that's the other thing I do to be safe, because it's not hard to do 1 bounty for the other vendors. So do that. And if you're really crazy, in theory, the bounties for Iron Banner should also carry over. Like, you can save all those, because those are going to be the highest amount of XP, and you'll possibly get new gear that hasn't even dropped yet as soon as Witch Queen starts. But again, some of that may change, so just keep looking at the TWAB every week to see if they come out and make some sort of stand on that. But yeah, that's what I always do. That's my bounty prep, and then that's easy enough to get 60 or so on each character, which this next season, with how they're handling the artifact, that'll change that kind of stuff too. How that works, we'll be able to get more stuff unlocked faster. So have you still been playing the that other version of League?
We have, the double up. It's it was in beta. Now it's, I don't know if Workshop is actually like a stage of testing still, or if it's just called Workshop. But it's gone from beta to Workshop, and no, it's a lot of fun, because we can do it on the iPads, which is fun, or we can do it at the computers as well. But it's cool, because I mean, I'm not going to be playing the actual, ARAM stuff, because that sort of talent for that. But this way, I get to play with Pocket, and we're having a really good time, actually.
Nice.
A lot of fun.
Does that actually have like a leveling system in it yet, per se?
It's not like the gold, gold, plat, that kind of thing.
Right.
It's like different tiers. It's like you get up to, like, we're right around 3,000 points right now, and that's a certain color. And then you get to another threshold, and that changes colors. So, so it's not like, I'm in plat 4 or that sort of thing. But I still do the ranked games every once. If she's gaming with her other friends, then I'll do that, or do the hyper roll. Hyper roll has the same sort of ranking and leveling system as the double up does. That's sort of like you get to a certain tier, and but yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's funny, and most of you'll find like one of your builds usually is stronger earlier, or is like the carrier the whole time, and usually it's like a pocket coming to my. I'm holding in just long enough, and then she comes in and joins, and but sometimes it goes the other way around.
That's what matters, though. Hold.
That's right. Just hang it in there until
hold the door
until your teammate comes in.
Hold the door. Hold the door. Hold the door. Right. All right. Should I go grab the secret beverage?
I am ready for this. This mystery whiskey.
So we're building a mystery.
We're building a mystery whiskey. Yes.
Mystery. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab that. I'm going to come back in, and we're, like I said, going to do a very unconventional kind of flipped podcast here.
Okay.
So we'll take just a second. We'll be right back.
So we're just going right into it.
We'll mention that we're about to do what we're going to do, and then I will. Yeah, it'll be very unconventional.
I have two thoughts about what this could be.
Okay.
You and Jason have started distilling.
No.
Okay. It's the bakers that you bought.
No.
Okay.
No, that I would probably want to show that one off.
Okay.
Not that this one I necessarily don't want to show it off, but yeah. So we are going to do something a little unconventional here for About Beverages. We're going to start basically get right into the tasting. So don't feel like you missed something, that we came back late or whatever. That's how this podcast is going to work. It's going to take a little bit of a different format in a way. Let me turn off the things.
Not
here.
yet.
Silly Keith, don't you know it's redacted? Yes, it is neither of those things.
If this is actually called redacted whiskey,
that would be pretty good.
That would be great. Redacted barrel proof.
Redacted barrel proof.
Bottled in bond redacted.
Bottled in bond redacted.
Yes. Yes.
That's funny. All right, you ready?
Sure. I'm just kind of following your lead because you're doing this a different way. So I'll go right in where I need to.
Copyright that this instant. Yeah, you should. That is a pretty dope name, actually. I need to hear about a special, but it's the one actually. So things wound up getting switched around. HJ cyberpunk label style. That actually would be not bad. I told you the one we wound up getting. So we bought the Bakers
Bardstown or whatever.
The Bardstown Bakers, which that was going to be one of our thank you beverages. We had that, and then we were going to get this other tequila that was going to be less expensive.
Right,
and then that one was out when I went back. So then I basically was like, well, I'll keep the Bakers Bardstown, and so I still have that bottle, which we will probably podcast on at some point. But there's no way I'm opening that until you can fully taste it. I know I can fully taste it at some point, but there's no way we're doing it on a podcast till you can because then
who knows?
Hey,
hopefully that day is
whiskey lass. Whiskey lass.
Right, that's true.
Where it's no rush. Are you guys the ones who talked about a brewery named Responsibly?
Responsibly Brewery?
That's not bad. Responsibly, drink responsibly. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, that is a good idea. No, that wasn't us.
Please drink responsibly.
Please drink. Yeah.
It'd be great if you had that brewery in a city. Is there a Responsibly Utah or Arizona or something like that?
Well, probably Utah. That you went to there first. Yeah, you think Responsible Utah.
City named Respond. Well, that's responsibility.
Drink responsibly. You should drink responsibly.
I don't know. All right.
Lots of it, though.
All right, we're going to do the podcast now.
Okay.
So this podcast is going to be a little bit different, a little bit more unconventional.
I like it.
We're probably going to do what everybody always asks us to do when we read some of the comments. Like I said, a lot of you are very, very wonderful and very, like I said, offering us up some good suggestions. But one of the ones we get sometimes is that we converse a little too much, just get right to the drinking, to the tasting. That's actually literally what we're going to do right now. Like I said, my brother does not know what we're about to taste. I have told him that it is a whiskey. It is a new one that I've read about. I've seen it advertised a bunch of different places. I thought, all right, let's bring it in. Let's have it go through the About Beverages paces. So we're literally just going to go right to tasting it. You are seeing down here on the screen what it is right now.
I'm not, unfortunately.
You're not.
Damn it.
They are. So yeah. So we're just going to get right to it. So color-wise, what are you thinking?
I'd say it's light. It's on the lighter side for
maybe
for
Irish
whiskey.
Irish whiskey looking?
Well, I don't know. Oh, wait, did you just
No, I'm just asking. That's what when I poured it, that's what I thought.
Yeah, or even like a Scapa. Like Scapa was a little on the lighter side. Right?
That's true. Yeah, some of the scotches, as we've seen, it's a dark Duncan Taylor.
From what we've seen lately. Some of the later. Yeah. So just definitely lighter than I'm used to seeing from whiskeys we've had lately. More.
It's like a honey, a light honey kind of color.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Irish whiskey, possibly a Scotch whiskey. Actually, you know what? I have an.
Do you know what this is?
I
okay.
Do.
All right.
I do know what this is.
Okay. I'm just making.
Or there is a Scotch that I actually have right now out in the other that is on the lighter side like this. It's darker than, remember that Japanese whiskey we were like, was it the Kokori?
Oh, that's true.
It's darker than that. But yeah, definitely on the lighter side of some of the bourbon whiskeys that we have.
Yep.
Aroma?
You tell me. Oh. Something is, it's almost like cereal.
Okay.
At first I thought corn, and then I was like, no. And then I was like rice, and I was like, no. And then I was like,
so I'm going to tell you two tales.
It smells like a yummy cereal, actually.
Okay. So you think it smells like what kind of cereal,
Some kind of grain, like corn bran or something with a little cinnamon or something. I don't know, but not overly cinnamony, like
It's not like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or something like that.
Something like that, but not quite that. But but
okay.
But then it almost there's something almost rice-like about it too.
Okay.
So something. But I'm smelling something that I can't determine.
Okay, so I can at least describe what I'm smelling, like, even though I know what it is, like I can tell you what I'm smelling.
Okay.
So when I first opened the bottle, I thought it smelled almost like fake cherry, like almost Robitussin.
Oh, okay.
I thought it kind of had that aroma, like it was like, and so much so that I kind of like, so I've been seeing a lot of things lately, which is stuff that I've thought about, where they talk about how when you first open a bottle, we've always talked about letting it stay open for a little bit.
Right.
They say when you first open it, that little bit that's in the neck is almost sometimes a completely different flavor than the rest of the bottle. So they always say after that first pour, you can try it, you can taste it, but then they almost say let it sit open like a couple weeks so that it almost kind of gets a little bit of that oxygen in there, and then that's actually going to be the real flavor of the whiskey. So I poured that little bit, I smelled it, and I was kind of I literally pitched both of our glasses and then poured us a little bit more.
Oh, just right now? Oh, wow.
I did, just because I thought it smelled so much. I still get that. There is definitely, to me, there is still like a fruit, almost cherry sweet in there.
I could see what, to me, I'm almost
like
thinking
maraschino
sake.
cherry kind of thing, but then there's like cinnamon in there too. I agree with that. So that I think that is coming in there, and some of the cereal that you talked about, but I'm also getting a fruit, kind of a different fruit that's in there.
And I get that. And that's kind of like what I get like with sake. The few sakes that I've smelled in the past have that sort of wet, ricey sort of, but I could see how it could be cherry or, amaretto, that sort of thing.
Amaretto is a good call too. It's in there. It's nowhere near as strong.
Grain.
And then there is just a fair amount of some sweet notes coming in through, like more of like a cane sugar than like a brown sugar.
Okay.
All right. You ready for the taste?
Sure.
I am.
I don't
too.
know.
I'm interested in this too now.
Ew.
Yeah. Ew.
Is this no alcohol spirit? Okay. I've been very intrigued by stuff about this. I even sent you, I think, did I send you a link to it, or I posted something one time? Oh, yeah. Okay.
So what we have today here that Keith has just guessed is this Spiritless Kentucky 74. So this has no alcohol in it. It is made to, usually supposed to be for sipping, for cocktails. It is supposed to be like, it's the next wave where they talk about.
But this is made by somebody that does.
No, it is. Like I said, yeah, no, it's not that. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, it's supposed to be made for, like, if people don't want the full amount of alcohol and they're making a cocktail, they could cut this 50-50 with the spirit, the bourbon that's in there, the whiskey. This one is supposed to particularly mimic a bourbon or whiskey. So So you could do that. It's supposed to, it's for people that, like I said, like the flavor, can't have the alcohol, don't want the alcohol. The process, I would, like I said, I was fairly intrigued by this. It's around $35 for the bottle. I was intrigued by the process because this is actually full on that they make a whiskey and then they extract the alcohol. Okay. So a whiskey was made at some point and then they extract the alcohol. They do a pressurization process to kind of speed up the aging.
Okay.
Probably not unlike, not the same because they're different like proprietary things or whatever. Like I said, the Cleveland whiskey kind of does that too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That one to a greater effect. But also recently, so after I had purchased this a couple weeks ago, I saw that Whistle Pig also does because they did it for dry January. They put out a thing. They said to help out the bartenders and everyone else that we have made so they literally they literally made a 6-year aged whiskey. Whistle Pig did, and then they removed it then as well. Yes, Whistle Pig did an alcohol-free rye. Yes, that's what I was just mentioning that. Chat is talking about that right now. If you're watching us live here on Twitch and not seeing us on the archive on YouTube, you can always join us for that as well. And
which you should do.
Joining the conversation on Thursday nights.
That's right.
But yeah, I had multiple ideas about how I thought like maybe I'll bring another one to the table, something else, and we drink them back and forth to see if we can tell that there's no alcohol in it, yada, yada. I think this tastes gross. I think this is another one of those products where it's like, I wouldn't drink the thing. Again, maybe it tastes better if you mix it into a drink, but I don't see this being strong enough if I put it in a drink. Like when I sipped this, like it was just so watery already and so much everything else, I think it would get lost. So it's like you're literally saying that you put something in there that's whiskey-like if you're making a whiskey sour or something else, but it's not going to be enough to come through. Now, maybe Whistle Pig does a better one. Again, this one, what intrigued me by that it actually, because I thought, are they just mixing some different flavors together to try and make it taste like whiskey?
Right.
Like how we used to have extracts that we would put on coffee or something like that. But this literally is a whiskey that then they blend from the barrel. Like I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be good. Yeah, literally when I first did that pour, I almost wasn't even going to do this podcast. I thought it smelled so bad.
No, it's so much buildup.
Robitussin is not like far off. It was literally like cherry cough medicine. I still think there is some like cough medicine-ish type aromas in there that are almost like there's maybe some ginger in there too. I'm getting a little notes of that.
There is a spiciness after a few more sips that kind of starts to weigh on your tongue. And ginger's a good call. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that they put ginger in there, but I was trying to figure out because there's a heat, but it's not alcohol heat, but there is a heat that's just kind of staying on my tongue, which I guess is probably mimicking the alcohol part.
Yeah, it tastes like I put 3 or 4 ice cubes in here, and let it water down. To me, it's like there may have been something, but then again, if this had been the full strength and not watered down, it probably would have not even been even less something I would drink, and it would be even less tolerable. But yeah, I don't know if other people are doing it better. Unfortunately, like I said, this is one of those ones.
I'm glad you bought. I've been very intrigued to try this because I think it was actually Imbibe recently within the last couple of issues did a thing where they featured like 4 or 5, and I think
was it a do's and don'ts, and they said don't.
No, there was all the here 5 to try or whatever.
At your own risk.
I wonder if that was one of them actually because that label looks familiar.
This one gets a lot of, like I said, this one gets a lot of publicity. They've gotten either a lot of marketing behind them, a lot of I've seen them a bunch of other places, and then it was another thing. I can't remember if I may have bought this again also when I bought the Frey Ranch Distillery, but I bought from them and bought a few different things around because they had like either cheap shipping or free shipping. I was like, I want to try that. Man, that'd be neat if that actually is close to it, or if you even if I thought it was strong enough where it's like, I could mix that with actual bourbon if you were going to make a lighter cocktail, I don't want the full again, I know these are random scenarios. Most people in chat here are probably like, what are you talking about making a lighter? I get it. I get it. But I'm trying to think outside the box and okay, what would be some other thing? And unfortunately, this is not it. I have never this is literally Trader Joe's alcohol eggnog territory. This is gross. Again, I can't even putting this in another drink. I can't even imagine it standing up to something. But I'm repeating myself. So.
If you just added it'd be funny. It'd be the reverse of a whiskey and Coke, where it's like a shot of whiskey and then Coke. It'd be like
3/4
4 ounces of that
and a little bit of Coke. Just to kind of get it through there. It just would be. It's unfortunate. I wanted to like it. I was excited. Like I thought this was going to be fun. And it's amazing too that I even thought that it was like, oh, maybe we'll actually put a spirit next to it that had, like I said, those, something to compare it to. Because I thought, oh, I'll look for one of my lighter whiskeys that is only 80 proof or something like that. And can we actually tell like, oh, these are close, but I can't, I'm not getting the burn. But yeah, no, it's like I said, if you were tasting more, you'd be getting even more. Like I said, the cherry to me, and again, maybe that's just a visceral reaction. Like I'm not a huge cherry fan. Right. It's got to be done just right. This was very medicinal and everything. And then again, on the taste, just super watered down. So I think it would get lost in a cocktail, which is probably the reason you'd have this beverage. So
yeah, that's I've been very intrigued about this field and have wanted to try, and I would still maybe try something else.
I would always want
another one.
I would always do the Eric. What does Eric say?
Try it twice.
Try it twice. Like not this bottle.
Not this one. No.
But I would try another one, and then after you'd had another one, I'd be like, okay, that's like the Whistle Pig one. Is one I would have liked to have bought, but I had already bought this one, and I was like, and I didn't see that till recently. But I would have tried that because it's like. That to me then is like, okay, at least that's an A-list distiller that I love and appreciate. Right. Love their spirits. Okay, if they're saying they did this, then that's another one of those things like this should be the top tier one. So if that is still available, like people like hit me up with the link, I would buy another one of those. Like I should have looked into that a little bit more, but since I hadn't tried this one yet and it had kind of gotten pushed around in our podcasting schedule, I didn't want to all of a sudden have two of these. If this one was good. Right. So. Right. Sometimes, sometimes we have a swing and a miss, and it's totally fine. But if you want to see all the other good things,
but it was fun. That was fun, though.
I did. I had a lot of fun.
That was fun. I'm glad I at least picked out it was
Spiritless Kentucky 74's expense. Yeah, you did pick it out there at the end, though. Yeah, you definitely did. But yeah, head on over to the website at AboutBeverages.com. Check out all the things that we have done for over the last decade, along with other things that like I said, that are not just spirits, but waters, sodas, recipes, all kinds of things. Like I said, it is all there that we have ever done. If you only want the latest videos, like the archive of this complete podcast or the smaller podcasts, go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You'll be granted some little alerts and some warnings when new stuff goes up, or you can turn those off and still be subscribed, which we would greatly appreciate. If you only want audio format, Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, all of those things are great options, or just whatever your favorite podcast app is. Search for About Beverages. You will find us there. Along with, there's some pillars that also they should probably. Of course,
the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars.
Yes. There's 3? Oh my God.
3 pillars of social media being Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which is what we use most frequently. Like earlier today when I tweeted that we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings at around 5:30 Pacific time, give or take. And it's not always Thursdays, but we'll keep you up to date and we'll let you know. You can join us, like I said, on Thursday at Twitch, and we get together, we record these podcasts, we chat, hang out with everybody who happens to drop by, try beverages, talk about a whole bunch of different things. Also, Andrew keeps you up to date on Twitter with what he's doing throughout the week in the gaming industry, the gaming world, what he's going to be doing and what he'll be drinking as he's doing it. So follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, don't try this one. Stay away.
We don't always say that.
We don't always say. We usually say that.
Yeah.
You know what?
The search goes on.
Just not maybe my flavor profile, whether we like it or not. Maybe it's worth you get. Don't buy a whole bottle. Like, I don't know if you can find like a small like shot of it somewhere.
Have someone buy you a shot.
Whether we like it or not, this time have someone
give you a shot.
There we go. I like that. That's a good ending. There's some stuff. Yeah, like I said, we will go back to chat right now.
Issue.
Well, you were getting a lot more out of it, so that did make me excited that you were at least smelling
weird.
things.
That was really
very intriguing. Is a whiskey, Rice Krispies. What is it? Whistle Pig did an alcohol-free, right? We were talking about that. I hope one day they'll make an alcohol-free drink that tastes as good as the real thing. I hope so too. Like, I wish they could do something like that, and that's kind of what my hope for this was. Like, again, I can drink alcohol, at least as of this moment. Who knows? Like, whatever happens in the future, if all of a sudden the doctor said something or whatever. But like as of now, since I still can, I don't need a product like this, but I like looking for those things because there are a lot of people that come in. In fact, I had 2 people yesterday that were in chat when we were talking about different things, and I think I said something like a secret whiskey, and they were like, "Oh, those things sound good, but alas, I can't have either." I don't know if they said I can't have alcohol or I just don't like alcohol. It was something like that. And I was like, you know what? I said, we have something tomorrow night that might be for you. And unfortunately it wasn't.
Schnozberry's not a fan of the eggnog.
Eggnog period, baby. Oh, God. I like eggnog. I especially like a smart eggnog, and I like it when it's even like an actual like fresh eggnog is made, like if you make it a cocktail, with the bourbon and everything in there. But yeah, the Trader Joe's one was absolutely awful. But Schnozberry's is good to see you. I don't know how one separates the opioid effect of drinking the alcohol and the expression. Well, I thought they might have something in there that just added the heat. So I can get into a slightly more about how they go through the process.
HJ, who did this to you?
Who did this to you? I did this to myself. I brought this on myself. We haven't seen each other in so long. Like
I would say the lack of alcohol is very apparent, because that's what I was like.
It's just so watery thin too.
I think sometimes the alcohol part carries the flavors.
Well, it's going to carry probably the aroma at least too. Some of the soft palate kind of stuff. Have you all tried low alcohol wine? It's hard to hide the lack of alcohol without going towards sugary grape juice. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I have not RX. Have you ever had anything?
The lowest I've ever had, I think. 18, it's just probably 18%? Like 9, 19%. We had a 4.5% one at work at one time, but I don't remember if I tried that or not. Yeah, they just go more toward the sweet. Usually they're on the sweeter side. So
I did. We saw Schnozberry's comment about it. You just made Keith question his entire COVID recovery. My man was like, "Okay, maybe I can taste anything. I can taste anything."
I tasted something.
Sounded like the community put you up to it. It was something it had come up definitely in chats before. People talking about different things, spiritless alcohol, whatever. And then I had seen this one advertised like a bunch. So they obviously had a pretty good marketing campaign behind me. So they got me.
There is something that,
and it was just kind of weird. But back to what they do. So they do. So the mix, a variety of hand-selected American oak is combined with high-proof neutral grain spirit. So they do neutral grain spirit, high proof. They put it in American oak. So then they do a thermal extraction. They modulate the heat and pressure in the still, imitating barrel aging process seen in traditional spirits over multiple years in a matter of hours. So this is kind of probably where they start losing some of it. And this is kind of like what Cleveland whiskey does too. Not completely the same, but they do something similar where they're actually using pressure. I don't think they're using heat at all. So this one's heat and pressure. They use to kind of simulate the aging process. Then they do a cooling process.
It's a study of geology.
So then this is the part 2. So reverse distillation. The reverse distillation process separates the ethanol from our Kentucky 74 distillate. The ethanol is then removed and repurposed for the next batch. We call that our regenerative ingredient. The distillate that remains in the still is non-alcoholic. This is where Kentucky 74 is born. So they literally take a regular whiskey
that they've sped up the aging process.
But it had alcohol in it.
Yeah, right.
And then they do that, and then they take that out, and then they go through all the barrels, and they blend them together to come up with a balanced spirit with hints of caramel, vanilla, and oak.
No.
After blending perfection is ready for bottling, our bottles are then filled and capped with our hand-stained red mahogany. Maybe I'm tasting red mahogany in here. Maybe that's what the cherry is. Curiosity killed the buzz. Is this product from the fine people at AB InBev? I don't know if it says. This shows like about us. Here we go. This is going to be sad because this is going to be like a mom and pop thing that I just ripped the new one into.
It does. The sped up aging project probably does. It's probably not the greatest to begin, the most in-depth. It's probably not the most, deep.
So they were founded in 2019. For decades, we have worked with some of the biggest spirit conglomerates in the world. We learned mixology of the master, science, cocktail, learned how to throw one hell of a party. So the reason they did it, because they want. Okay, this is probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen on a website like this. They have a statement that says, like bourbon, but better. I get it. You like your own. We like a lot of our stuff too that probably people think is a joke, but please, let's not overshoot let's not outkick our coverage here. Easy. It was from ours. That was what they wanted. The nerve.
It really does seem like there's ginger or something in there because there is a heat.
This to me seems like I made this out of this to me is what I thought it was going to be. Different ingredients coming together to try and simulate a whiskey or a bourbon.
Right.
But then when you look at the site, it's not any of those things at all. But I'm guessing that they put, I don't know, they probably have to bottle though, because there's ingredient information. No, there's just preservatives and things. So there's ingredients are spiritless, non-alcoholic oak distillate, water. So obviously they're watering it down then even more. Natural flavors, glycerin, sugar, citric acid, xanthan gum, sodium benzoate, and potassium sorbate. So the last two things are preservatives.
Huh.
Because that's what you want in your whiskey. Something that actually has to. So May 2021.
Oh my God, there's a Harris Heller song.
Oh my God, there's a refund policy. Sweet.
Moderna Warfare?
Thanks for purchasing our prize. There's a refund policy. I'm going to go through that. I've never wanted to actually return something more in my life.
How much was it?
$35.
Really? Okay.
I don't know if I got free ship. I think I got free shipping on it. Or it was very cheap. Have these schmucks ever had bourbon? I don't think so.
There is a Harris Heller song called Moderna Warfare.
I like the one earlier that was called Sheesh.
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 Sheesh. Yeah, without alcohol. Yeah, I guess.
Without the. Yeah, no, I get that for sure. Yeah, it's still like, ooh. Yeah, there's some. Well, in theory, with the oak barrel that they put it in, it's fairly light. So this is the color of probably what, if you were sloshing it back and forth. It looks a little darker in the bottle. I know it's hard for you to see.
Yeah.
It looks darker in the bottle.
Yeah.
You guys can't tell, but 15 calories because of the sugars that they added in there. After opening, sip within 6 months. No need to refrigerate.
Okay.
There's a lot of humor on this label. Oh, it still has 0.5. So the non-alcoholic, but then there's still like technically is a little bit in there is always strange to me.
Yeah.
So then in theory, could you sell this to a minor? If Keith Barron's Trader Joe's
was selling that to, it would probably come up as a ID that we'd have to card somebody.
Right? Because there's alcohol in it, technically.
Yeah,
right?
and technically...
Because you even have to be carded for like Sudafed and other things nowadays, right?
You know what, though? I don't think our non-alcoholic beer does that anymore, though. So
does
maybe it wouldn't.
Does that still have a slight bit in it?
Yeah, usually it does.
Little half percent. I mean, it's probably impossible to get everything on it. Looks like someone drank an Irish whiskey, swished it in their mouth, spat it back in the glass for you to... Whoa, God.
I hope not.
Oh, let's hope not.
Spat by professionals.
Oh. Well, that's what I thought it looked like. I was trying to be honest. Like, I thought it almost looked Irish whiskey-like or very light scotch.
Right.
Which I still think that. And then, just the aroma. It's amazing how strong the... it's still that cherry medicinal. And again, maybe that's something that's like, ooh, because I like those notes when they're in other things. Like if, Moderna barrels, like those other things that can bring that kind of flavor to the table. But that is just like, it's just fake too. I don't know. There's this...
Madeira?
Madeira. Sorry. Yeah, not... you said Moderna Warfare before. Madeira barrels. Yes, thank you.
Obviously there are people out there who want the zero alcohol experience from something that typically has alcohol. I'm not one of those people. I don't, unless it has the flavor. Once again, if it has, but we just haven't come, and we've tried a decent amount of things that have,
non-alcoholic beers.
And they just have not, they're just not what I want. So then in that case, I'm going to have something else. I'm going to have a tea or something else that
there's
actually
maybe a little woody note in there
has flavor. But I had someone ask me the other day for do you have the Lagunitas alcohol NAIPA? She's like, it's such a great beer. And I was like, no, we don't have that. Because we've tried that and wasn't very good either. I mean,
no, it was better than this. Could that alcohol level trigger someone?
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I don't know. I have, like I said, I have worked with a few people in my day at, like I said, when I worked at the coffee roaster, that were either recovering, were in AA or something like that. So I'm like, and I've worked with a lot of different people with it, but I've asked that question. I don't think about that in particular, but it was more about like, when you put alcohol, like when you're cooking and things like that. And I think that was like, not really, but then they just wouldn't want to ever have the alcohol in the house. It's kind of one of those things. But if they went over to somebody's house and you would cook for them and that had alcohol in it, that wouldn't be a problem. Okay. I can't remember if I asked him about this and he just said it. I think it was kind of like his answer was basically like, just depends on how sensitive you are. Where like, if you wanted the taste so bad and you bought a bottle like this and then found a way to drink most of this, like maybe you'd get obviously it'd be very waterlogged, but maybe that would, what it would happen is like, maybe it could trigger slightly where then you'd be like, I could probably have a little more, like maybe it would encourage you to try 2% alcohols or 3, it might like lead you down another path. Like maybe, I don't think this is going to like, you can't drink this and like actually get like drunk in any way, but like it might make, depending on your brain and your chemical, makeup of, like I said, of that type of personality, it may think you like, well, I didn't have a problem with this 0.5%. 2% should be fine then too. And then you'll finally hit that one where it does. And then you're triggered again. That'd be my guess, but I am completely speculating. If anyone in the archive wants to comment on this, or anyone in chat has any knowledge, fine with talking about that stuff.
I like how it says distilled non-alcoholic spirit for bourbon cocktails. They're not telling you to drink it straight. They're not suggesting you drink it straight.
No, they do mention sipping. They do say sipping on the ingredients, because they say after opening, sip within 6 months.
Oh, sip. Okay.
But you could be sipping a cocktail. That's true.
Definitely, it has like a.
I think that was their idea. They do talk on the website. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
Okay.
They do talk on the website a lot where they say, they're saying people would want a non-alcoholic cocktail. But even to me, what's here is so light that it would get lost in a cocktail, and it's like just have a cocktail without anything in it, like just make a whiskey sour with lemon juice.
Just have a gin and tonic with tonic and lime.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, exactly, something like that, or find something else that you can just kind of dip in there. I think there's other things like.
What if there is cinnamon? It's either cinnamon or ginger, something in there that does leave a heat or a layer on.
It's that 0.5% ABV.
That could be it.
It's just over the top.
That could be it.
That is. Yeah, that is profoundly disappointing. I thought it was going to be kind of fake-ish, but I did not think it was going to be toward that. I thought it was going to be like, ooh, that smells really vanilla. I thought, ooh, that smells really vanilla, or that smells like other things.
That's funny.
I mean, they literally said better than bourbon. They did. Slightly out of context there, but that's what they were going for.
Get to know
us.
us.
Is less. Spiritless supports the conscious cocktail. The no and lowers the people who want to be live fully, but shake, stir, sip, and celebrate differently. And again, I'm not making fun of any of that.
No, that's great.
Not at all.
Yeah,
I think that, like
options out there for people who.
If anything, I hope this creates a market for people that maybe a better version of this can be made, or if someone else has an idea to do that. Eat a spoonful of cinnamon, see if it hits you the same.
Oh,
the cinnamon be hitting different. It's a little different. Still better than proper. What was proper 12? Was that something you had? What was that, Berserker?
What's the thing that you had from Canada?
Oh, that was Pendleton 1910.
Oh, okay.
Our first foray into Canadian whiskey was not a good one. I'm still waiting for Schnozberries to tell me what a good Canadian whiskey is. Oh, that's right. It was the Conor McGregor whiskey. Oh my God. Because that was like what? Wasn't that fairly cheap too? Like $25 or $30?
Conor McGregor.
Oh my God. Coming for you. It's Conor. I'm going to punch you in the mouth with this bad whiskey. Had me. How's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, that is basically like someone put barely aged alcohol in cheap vanilla extract. I mean,
ooh.
That cherry is just blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. Well, what do we want to do next week?
Perhaps a wine?
It's funny you say wine. We've actually this week, speaking of nice comments that we've gotten recently on YouTube, we had someone that was very happy with our review of the Trader Joe's Platinum Reserve that we did.
Oh, okay.
That one has actually gotten a decent little boost, at least for us, on views. Okay. And someone commented a couple times saying that they bought a bottle based on the review. It sounded really good and they really liked it. And then they bought, I think, a couple more of them and they had other people try them and they thought it was even a more expensive bottle. Like, so it was a big hit. So it was a very, very nice compliment. So we appreciate that. If anybody, you get mean comment, not mean. You just get a lot of, like, in this industry, like almost like when I was here, like we'll probably on this video, when this goes up, it probably won't be the next video, but the one after that, when this goes up, probably people like, well, you don't know what it's like not to drink it. And it's like, that's why I tried to preface like 900 times that it's like, I get it. Like, but then it's like,
then don't say, well, you know what? Maybe that's how it's how they feel. It's an opinion. So
yeah, like then it's like,
we just
don't drink, I wouldn't, if this was my option, as I always say, I wouldn't drink it then because it's like, I don't desperately need to feel like I'm having a drink.
Right.
If I couldn't have a drink.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, the one in Lot 40 is a fantastic bourbon from Canada. Lot 40. Okay. That's actually the name. All right. Let me.
It's true. It is impossible to make everyone happy. So you just try to be nice and polite and understand that there's lots of different opinions. And as long as everyone realizes we're all going to have different opinions, and let's discuss those different opinions and sometimes agree to disagree. But that's what we're all about.
Ooh, I like the bottle on that one. All right.
Lot 40.
Saving the link. Thank you very much, Rex. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's not that, like, so we get a lot of comments too, both of them like this and that. Hey, I wish you'd do that. Like, so those are always constructive. There's just a lot of people. It's like, especially when we did the biggest one where you can see a lot of comments but it got a lot of views. So whatever,
The water.
No, well, the water one, yes, people are very interested in their water, but that one's gotten so many over the years. No, the one when we did the Japanese whiskey from Trader Joe's.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first comment out of the gate was like, that's not Japanese whiskey.
Yeah.
It actually is. You may not say it's a good one or whatever, but it is. And then the next one was someone like, oh, really? I thought it was this. And then 3 or 4 people kind of going back and forth, not directly at us, but then going back and forth on real Japanese whiskey versus fake. It's like, okay.
Okay.
Alternatives to Mike's Hard Lemonade. I don't know if anything comes to mind. Mike's Hard Lemonade. I don't really drink a lot of like hard lemonade stuff, but I'm sure other people make that. What is it like? Sure, other people make hard lemonade stuff. That's not usually my go-to. Like I said, because I usually go one way or the other. Usually I'm having an actual,
whiskey sour,
whiskey-based spirit. Yeah, well, whiskey sour. There you go. Yeah, you make a really good whiskey sour. That's better than a Mike's Hard Lemonade, but not probably as easy and quick to drink, I suppose.
No.
It's not the
shandy.
Not that simple. What's that?
The shandy is the lemon. It's like half beer, or the Radler. I think it's a half beer and half lemonade. People
Radler.
mix. That was a Trader Joe name for it, but there is a beer, or a recipe for a beer where you have lemonade and beer. So
okay. Maybe mojito. I mean, that's different. Like as soon as you said hard lemonade, then I kind of was thinking of more
or the new, the whole
things.
trends. Actually, we have some hard kombuchas too. You've got that. You've got the whole seltzer craze that's gone on. So, so maybe a wine, perhaps a wine.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm
something.
trying to think. I think I've got maybe a beer hanging about. I want to try, and I don't think of what else. I mean, we could probably be cruel to tease people with a barrel-proof bourbon that people can't buy.
Oh,
and people can't find, but that was a good one that needs to be spoken of. The Trader Joe's
barrel proof
via
bourbon.
Buffalo Trace Barrel Select.
And we could talk about that.
Dad got an apricot wine like 8 years ago. Really enjoyed that. Did he wait 8 years to drink it, or did he just uncorked it the other day? Just uncorked it. But yeah, all right. So yeah, maybe some sort of whiskey. We'll get it back to a regular whiskey. That's unfortunate we can't find the Whistle Pig version because I totally would have tried one of those. I should have jumped on that.
I think Shay said it was sold out.
Yeah, I would have jumped on one of those. Yeah, so Trader Joe's, it was called, what was it actually called? Trader Joe's Barrel Brew?
Barrel Entry Proof. So it was a 125 proof. The rumor was that it was done by Buffalo Trace or one of the...
It was from one of their distilleries.
Someone under that umbrella. So yeah.
I'll be right over.
So yeah, it was limited quantity for sure. We got each of the stores got 5 cases, and there was only 6 bottles in a case because the bottle's a kind of squatter square. It's kind of a cool looking bottle.
Yeah, it is actually. It's not quite bespoke like the Blackened bottle, but it was its own neat little bottle.
It definitely had its own look to it. So each of the stores here locally got 30 bottles. That's 60 total. We sold out in 2 days. Ours were gone. The other store hung out a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer.
Yes. So.
That bourbon stayed just a little bit longer. It did say bourbon, right? Wasn't it bourbon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Even though that's like kind of not quite the term we always thought it was anymore. Like it used to always, remember Kent was always like, gotta be from Kentucky. It's like, well, not really anymore.
No.
Like that's not the rules. So it's just based on the mash. Is all that
That's
matters
right.
For the most part. And
more
the
corn.
charred oak barrel and some other things. Yeah. How much corn you got in you?
51% at
How
least.
much corn you got in your mash? All right. Is that a new American charred oak barrel? All right. You bourbon.
A lot of bourbon.
That's how they work. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you for indulging us as we watched ourselves watch a podcast. That was always super fun. If you missed out on that, again, you can check out the archive of us trying the Tears of Llorona tequila, written by the Knack. My Llorona.
My Llorona.
Okay.
That's right.
Not the B52s. Not the UB40s.
The UB40 52s.
UB40 52s.
40 52s.
But yeah, we'll be back again next Thursday or Wednesday?
Thursday.
Okay, I didn't know if Wednesday was available again. Wednesday was,
I don't think so.
Nights? Okay, all right.
I know.
All right, back again next Thursday, usual time, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, because of the time zone thing as of right now. But yeah, we'll be doing a couple different things. I'll be back on again tomorrow. We're going to be playing something different still. I'm playing some more Hades, which is a game that's got some Greek mythology things going on and some little action and stuff. It's really cool. Super fun. Thank you, Bevy Bro. Thank you, Baker. I appreciate it.
Yes,
thank you to everybody that came in and hung out tonight. We are going to raid somebody. We're going to go raid Hannah Tries to Game. She has come in and hung out a few times. We've seen her. She does. Obviously, she's playing some Destiny right now. But she so famously called us two degenerates.
Oh, see, is that where the degenerates came from?
So that's where the two degenerates comes from. So yeah, so we're going to go say hi to her. She's playing some Gambit. So she's probably unhappy right now if she's playing that. But it is what it is. But yeah, I will see you guys again tomorrow.
Right. Thank you again, everyone. Have a good evening and a good week. I'll see you next week. See you tomorrow.
That's right. We'll see you tomorrow.